The player that's most likely to launch a successful company is who?
Ooh. Honestly, I'm going to say Paige Beckers. She knows what to say. She's genuine. If she put her mind to wanting to start a business and a brand, she'd nail it.
Nneka Ogwumike. She's already been able to handle every business aspect of the league. So Nneka.
I think that sometimes people forget I have feelings. I'm a real individual. I feel things and I have emotions and I get emotional and I get frustrated and I get sad and I get upset. I get happy. I get joyful and I feel and experience all that stuff. But at the same time, I have really thick skin. And I think also I always try to remind myself is social media is not always reality, and that is really lost on people. And I think we get so down a rabbit hole all the time that you read all these things and you're like, oh, that has to be true, or that has to be what people really think of me, or that has to be what the young girl thinks of me that's showing up. That's not true. The young girls and the young boys, they absolutely love the way you play, they love the way you carry yourself. And
they seem determined to stop Caitlin Clark from becoming the league's biggest star, even though her success clearly helps the WNBA grow. The moment she is no longer the league's main attraction is the moment the WNBA risks losing the attention and momentum it has gained, slipping back into the level of relevance it had before her arrival.
The WNBA, they just keep driving into a wall at full speed with Caitlin Clark. They now have a commemorative poster of 30 years of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's not on it. And it's not just an ode to the veterans that started the league. Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are on it. And Caitlin Clark's not. When she broke into the league, you moved her road games to bigger arenas to accommodate the fans. And she's not on the 30-year poster. Recently there were TV games. Hers got double the rating of Asia Wilson, the best player in the league, the 3-time champ and the 4-time MVP. Double the rating. This is a paranoid, weird, insular league.
During a recent interview, several WNBA personalities discussed the league's future, its growing popularity, and the excitement surrounding the upcoming season. Yet despite covering all of those topics, they never brought up Caitlin Clark, not even a single time. You could watch the entire conversation from beginning to end and come away with the impression that the biggest name in women's basketball had no impact on the league at all, even though she's the player drawing the largest audiences and generating the most interest.
This phenomenon has just been crazy, right? I feel a little bit, I guess, empathetic for her because she didn't ask for any of this. She just wants the ball, right? She didn't ask for any of this stuff. I know that there's a lot of people that are frustrated that she doesn't speak more about some of the issues, that have nothing to do with basketball, by the way. And that's the unfortunate part for her. I had the opportunity to call one of her games a couple weeks ago. She's ridiculous. When you watch some of the shots she pulls and how she operates.
That wasn't a simple mistake. When people whose careers revolve around covering the WNBA spend an extended discussion analyzing the league's current position and future direction, yet leave out the player who has helped deliver its biggest television audiences in decades, it's hard to see that as an oversight. It reflects a deliberate editorial decision. No one accidentally overlooks the athlete associated with the league's highest-rated broadcasts in nearly 30 years. If her name is missing, it's likely because acknowledging her impact would require giving recognition that some are unwilling to offer.
So there was actually a report that came out today that says that the 2026 season will be Cathy's last season. Alexa Philippou said conversations with more than 20 stakeholders in and around the WNBA offer a general belief that for as much business growth as Cathy Engelbert has overseen, she's not the right person to navigate the demands of the league, the demands that the league currently faces, and what its stakeholders now need. I do think Cathy thinks, well, she's done her job. She's got us financially set up in the right way. It's the other pieces that we're talking about. Jeff Hunt, who is a specialist in crisis and reputation management, who has previously worked with the MLB, ATP, WTA, the PGA Tour, he said the hole has just gotten so deep. She's in a place now where I don't really know what she does. Others said that she had a failure to develop sufficient relationship equity. Multiple find it curious she hasn't prioritized developing a closer relationship with Caitlin Clark.
What has been unfolding behind the scenes is a story that has been developing quietly for quite some time. Reports suggest that WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert could be leaving her position once the season ends, and much of the discussion reportedly centers on how she managed the Caitlin Clark era from the start. Many sponsors have wanted Clark to receive stronger promotion, and broadcast partners have reportedly shared that same view. Critics argue that Engelbert, whether because she was hesitant to upset established veterans or simply misread what fans were looking for, spent the last 2 seasons failing to fully capitalize on the league's most significant commercial draw, despite the enormous attention Clark brought to the WNBA.
Obviously, I'm so blessed to be at the helm of this league during this incredible hyper-growth period. So blessed that these players are putting the product on the court they are every night. They stand for the values that the W has long sought for. So I will just continue to, do my job, execute the strategy because it has been working, make sure we listen to the players, communicate with the players. And so absolutely just love this league and blessed to have had the career I had before and the career I have now.
As a result, some critics argue that players and media figures who spent years downplaying Clark's influence are now facing a changing reality. They contend that many were reluctant to acknowledge she was the primary reason television crews, larger audiences, and increased attention began following the league so closely. At the same time, the commissioner who, in their view, allowed that atmosphere to continue may soon be leaving her position. If leadership does change, the conversation will shift as well. The next commissioner would inherit a league focused on growing revenue, expanding its audience, and building long-term momentum. Supporters of Clark argue that she has already demonstrated an unmatched ability to attract viewers, generate interest, and drive commercial success on a scale few, if any, players in WNBA history have achieved.
This is insanity. What Caitlin Clark has showed us, the demand is still there. The hype is still there. And then when she performs like she did, and people are seeing on Twitter, or people seeing on the news and on social media and on YouTube, and they're seeing headlines that say Iowa CC is back, they're like, damn, those were good times. I gotta check it out. Wait, you're telling me Iowa CC? Wait, she did 45 and 10? Oh, I remember her doing 45 and 10. I remember those types of games. I remember her pulling up from the parking lot. Oh, I gotta tune in.
That appears to be the issue fueling much of the debate today. For many observers, the discussion has expanded beyond pure basketball ability, even though Clark's talent is widely recognized. The bigger question has become which player will serve as the league's defining star and public face moving forward. From a business perspective, supporters argue the numbers speak for themselves. They point to Clark's television audiences and fan engagement as reaching levels that no previous WNBA player has consistently matched, regardless of the era. Because of that, many believe that any new commissioner tasked with strengthening the league's financial future would place a strong emphasis on the player who has already demonstrated the ability to attract viewers, generate widespread interest, and increase commercial opportunities, rather than overlooking those results in an effort to satisfy internal criticism or differing opinions. Caitlin Clark has said that much of the public discussion focuses on her popularity while overlooking her performance on the court. She has expressed frustration with what she views as unfair assumptions about her character, emphasizing that critics often judge her without knowing her personally. Supporters argue that her record-breaking statistics, sold-out arenas, and massive television audiences have transformed the WNBA's visibility and business outlook. They believe her impact has made her the league's biggest commercial draw, and that future leadership, sponsors, and broadcasters are likely to continue building around that momentum despite ongoing debate and criticism.